Welcome back, everyone. It is Sunday sit-down time. We've got KTGR's Andy Humphrey in the house for Sunday sit-down tonight. It's kind of nice you're just talking 11 a.m. kick. You have a little bit of the night before. Now that you've had some time to reflect, what do you think about yesterday's first loss of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly one that you'd love to get. It's disappointing that Mizzou couldn't finish the job when they had a 15-point lead against a team like that. And look, fans have a reason to be disappointed for it. I think fans also have a reason to see that they're in a game like that, and if they put themselves in more situations to give themselves a chance against top caliber opponents of that nature, then they can turn this season around and essentially put together the season that fans were probably hoping for, which is a season of progress, not something like 6-6, 7-5, striving for a little bit more than that. It was a game that you'd love to get to try and keep piecing that together, but you know, there are still a whole lot more opportunities to come.
For momentum's sake, you're going into a night game at Kroger Field, Kentucky. We all know the history there, always a tough opponent for Mizzou. What do you think this means momentum-wise, flipping the page for the Tigers?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely are looking at trying to clean up the penalties. That was a huge problem, not just in this game against LSU, but also in the previous games before. And look, Mizzou was able to overcome that when they were facing teams like Vanderbilt and Memphis because they have enough talent to do so. But when you go up against a team like LSU and some of your other peers in the SEC, especially Kentucky, who has come a very long way in their program and probably has just enough talent right now as Mizzou does. And so those types of mental mistakes that, you know, can come here and there, you can't let them pile up and expect to win most nights during the SEC schedule. So that's the biggest thing that I think they have to make sure they look at the tape, make sure they pound this home in practice and not let that happen again.
A lot of things to clean up, but the positive is, you know, in a true shootout, the Tigers did manage to keep pace offensively. You know, how would you evaluate Brady Cook's performance? Obviously, had those two interceptions. The first one, you know, kind of bad decision there across the middle, but other than that, how would you evaluate his performance?
Well, yeah, I mean, when you throw an interception for the first time in nearly a calendar year,
360 pass attempts, or
like, what's going on? Where's the other guy? But he still showed up. Like, I believe he ended up still matching his career high total that he set a week earlier. Now it was kind of garbage time to get to that total once again, but no, I thought he played fairly well. Yes, those interceptions came at very bad times, and it set Mizzou back. The last one was obviously the backbreaker. They get the pick six afterward. Not a great feeling, but he was also backed up against his own 5-yard line. It was going to be a tall task anyway. So I think you can still look at Brady Cook's performance and say he gave Mizzou a chance. He still spread the ball around to Mizzou's talented receiving core. Offensive line, for the most part, gave him time to throw, and he did keep them in that game for as long as they could. It was the offense that certainly kept Mizzou churning in this one and gave them a chance at the end to win it. So I don't think you can just discount that, that we expected this to be a shootout, and it turned out that it ended up being just that. It just, you know, the defense that ended up making just a few more plays was LSU's in the end.
When you look at the offensive line, one big concerning thing obviously has been the snaps. It seems like, you know, having some struggles with Connor Tollison. What's been your biggest evaluation of that offensive line, where they stand right now?
Well, I mean, it's things like that. I mean, you would think that for the most part, when you're trying to grow a unit like this, that they can put those types of mistakes behind them. But right now, I'm seeing them improve in pass protection and in run blocking, things like that. Cody Schrader had another great day yesterday. Offensive line did a good job to pave some holes for him. But again, it's a few of these mistakes here and there, like not knowing when to snap it to Brady Cook. Cameron Johnson with a costly hold after a run where Cook was going to have a first down last drive of the first half, I believe. Just little things like that are holding this unit back from allowing this offense to take even another step forward. So that's the main thing that you have to make sure you hit home in practice. Like, guys, we got to make sure that the second half of the season, this doesn't rear its ugly head again.
What's your assessment of what's going on with this defense? Doesn't seem like they're quite playing to that potential that you see on paper.
Yeah, I mean, as far as getting pressure, I think they're doing a pretty good job, but just not finishing the job, like not getting the running back down in the backfield as much as they did maybe last season, not getting the quarterback down. Now, look, tough test. Jaden Daniels is a Heisman Trophy candidate. You can try to say, well, don't rush him, don't let him get out of the pocket, but then he's going to pick you apart because he's a excellent passer as well. So there aren't too many great ways to defend a quarterback like that. That said, though, saw multiple times where Mizzou's defense got in the backfield, made it tough on Daniels, had just maybe a few inches away from getting a sack or two, but only ended up with one yesterday. And so I think if you wanted to give yourself more of a chance to slow an offense like that, not stop, but slow, a few more of those opportunities needed to go Mizzou's way.
I feel like fans, obviously, you know, you lose a game, you have the start you have. It seems easy to overreact, right? But still 5-1 at the midway point in the season. I wouldn't say that's too bad, right?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. On August 30th, if you had told Mizzou fans, look, you're going to win 5 of your first 6 games, I think a lot of them are going to take
pretty happy, right?
You know, because they see LSU on the schedule. They saw that Kansas State game. They saw all of that there. I think all things considered, you're looking at a pretty good spot for this team. Now, look, it gets tougher the rest of the way. Kentucky is an interesting test. Not as great of an offense as LSU, but a better defense for sure. This will be, I think, for Mizzou's offense, maybe a similar test that they had against Kansas State. Might not have as many opportunities to run the football because Kentucky's really good at stopping that. Maybe need to rely on the passing game a little bit. But look, you can still look at this schedule with how Mizzou's offense has looked and kept them in games so far this year. You can still sketch out 8 wins, even 9 wins. The optimists certainly could see that. But again, you just have to keep up that offensive production. You have to limit those types of mental mistakes on the offensive line, and we'll see if Mizzou can do that. But again, like, they're not going to be favored in a lot of these games going forward, but they weren't favored yesterday and had every chance to finish the job. Give them more chances, and they might actually do it.
Well, they made the point that the SEC East, you know, it's still open. You know, you see Kentucky lose a game. They're now at 5-1 as well, and they have 4 division opponents coming up here. You know, what kind of opportunity do you see in the SEC East for Mizzou? Yeah,
I mean, it really does start with that one. If you get that Kentucky win on the road against that type of team that started the way that it did and had a lot of confidence going into that Georgia game, but obviously tough test against Georgia. You're not going to be expecting to get that most years. But go into Lexington, get a win like that, and I think you take some of the bad taste out of the mouth from this last loss pretty quickly, because then you get South Carolina at home. Should be a favorable chance for Mizzou to pick up another victory for homecoming. Then you get the bye week. Georgia's going to be in there. Not really an expectation to go in and win that game, of course, but you know, I believe Florida is after that, and Tennessee's down this year, it seems. So look, there are opportunities against this schedule to pick off some of those opponents. Again, it'll be a bit of a surprise from folks outside of Mizzou that watch college football and odds makers and things of that nature. Not expecting maybe Mizzou to win those types of games, but look, we've seen Brady Cook really lead this offense well. Luther Burden is one of the best receivers in all of college football. That combination gives you a chance in almost any game.
Well, going to be a big test for them at Kroger Field just coming in a week. Well, thank you for joining me tonight. Appreciate you making the time.
Yeah, thanks, Natalie.
For the rest of you guys, we'll be right back after the break.